Kitchen and Tap, Fort Lauderdale.
Hold the Mayo. It's time for Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. Find out what's being served with Mike, Defo and Lubie, the only show that covers food, sports, and the proper maintenance of your car. And now, a man who had the distinction of having an entire health clinic named in his honor, Mike Mayo.
I want the flim sauce with the awesome fave, with shafafa on the side.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. We're on the road again in al fresco today from Batch New Southern Kitchen and Tap, downtown Fort Lauderdale on beautiful Federal Highway. Jeff Defo at the Forest. What do you make of these surroundings?
This is great. Last week we talked about our last month's show here from Batch. We talked about being outside, and I thought they just put up a separate memorial Mike Mayo bar out here. I mean,
well, I don't know if
this
people
setup
can
is
see.
fantastic.
Yeah,
I
you
hope
see.
the people can see all this. And they make a lot of their own stuff here, which is another fascinating aspect of the whole
They
business.
infuse
Yeah.
some spirits. So
Yeah.
they have, like here, they have the spiced rum that has the Batch label
And you're a
on
big
it.
fan of that, surprisingly, because you don't like a lot of stuff, that's off the beaten path.
They have the pecan infused whiskeys. They have it's a whiskey Wednesday. Look, they've got some
This,
mussels.
I know you're not a mussel
These are
guy,
got,
but
like,
the description of this
southern
dish
mussels or
was
like
phenomenal. and It smells
braised
great.
mussels. We
Wow.
were talking to the GM here, Brandon, who is taking great care of us. And yeah, it's kind of
Smells
like
great.
a mussels with a andouille sausage and some big crusty sourdough bread. And I'm gonna defer to you, but these are the classic.
Well, I mean, battling
Prince-
the gout is probably not the best thing, but I think
Okay.
one would be fine. Yeah,
Prince and
yeah.
one of anything. I think
Yeah.
everything in moderation is the key.
I'm willing to risk it just for the taste.
We've lost Lubie for a second. I think he's trying to hunt down a signal.
That's
and,
okay.
And we're going to get us,
All right, here we go.
up and rolling on
This
the
one
Let's
has my
Eat
name on it,
group,
yeah.
which we're closing in on 145,000 people.
Oh, right, really? That's
Yeah.
like 3,000 more than last week.
It's crazy what's going on with that group. But meanwhile, let us get us loaded
Oh,
up.
those are great.
You take a bite of that.
Wow.
I will put the finishing touches on this daily post, and they're off to the races. Prince Edward Island, of course,
You
is
can taste the difference.
Canadian province. It is the home island of one Doug McLean, the legendary Panthers
He
coach.
loved the place, yeah.
I love PEI. I've never been there.
Was Dale Talon from there also?
I might be, but these are the PEI mussels in the Nashville butter.
Brandon described them, and I couldn't resist, even though, I mean, I'm having this hellacious battle with the gout for the last 6 weeks.
Oh my
They were
God.
ready to cut half my foot off, and it was still worth it
These are
to
worth
dive into these. I'm going to limit myself to that one, but it's not going to be easy to do. But the sauce also is phenomenal. But you can taste the difference in the quality of the mussel there, Mike Mayo. You have a weird technique for eating them, though.
well, I
Are you
slurp them.
practicing up for your New Orleans venture?
I might be.
Yeah,
Usually in New Orleans you see oysters, especially from the Gulf Coast.
for sure.
Um,
These are great,
But
though, because,
mussels-
I mean, they have kind of an Italian restaurant type of flavor to them, and yet, they're a little bit different.
PEI, they're clean. There's no grit in them.
Yeah.
The andouille sausage on top. But what he's got them in, I wish you people could see it, but you probably can't, because if I showed it to you, all of it would spill out all over the table. It's this butter sauce. He calls it the Nashville butter. It's hot
Yeah,
butter.
I'm gonna dip
But he
some of
also
this,
uses, I
bread in
think,
it,
some
yeah.
of the pan drippings from like the chicken that they roast, or I'm not quite clear on it, but all I know is it's delicious. And much
And
in the
this
same
isn't
way,
even your thing. I mean,
much in the same way that I said, I don't really like tacos, which is complete BS.
Yeah.
I love tacos if they're prepared, well, with great
You weren't
ingredients.
having great tacos, and that's fine. That happens.
And I do like mussels. It's just something I never go out of my way to order, but these are beautiful. And Mike Lubie, welcome to the show. What's going
Hello,
on? Do we have
hello.
any technical difficulties? I
No,
understand.
we sound good. We look good. I get weird signals sometimes when I'm in Fort Lauderdale. So to get you the link, since we haven't figured out how to do this any other way, I had to get it as you
I would say
deduce
either
better signal.
Increase the dosage or decrease the dosage if you're getting weird signals.
No,
What's the frequency?
I wasn't getting
Can it-
great internet signal. So
that
we are.
the bread
good.
and the sauce, unbelievable, Mike Mayo.
Got grilled sourdough
You really
bread.
have to try and dip that in
I'm
the
going.
sauce.
I'm going in.
And it's got a little
And-
spike to it.
Meanwhile, I see just walk in. That's great. They got this beautiful outdoor deck porch here. A lot of times people come for their Sunday weekend brunch with the bottomless drinks. Lubie and Shirley were here a couple weeks ago.
Yeah,
Well,
it's
my
great.
friends and neighbors from Dania, Scott, and his daughter Lena, who is I guess back in town. She's wrapping up nursing school in Tallahassee, which might be my daughter's future. But great to see you, Lena. I
See
think
if
she's coming
she
back.
responds to the thing that I was saying over and over again while hospitalized. Nurse!
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, I
want my cigarettes, Mayo. I want
told,
my cigarettes.
told Lena it takes a very special patient person to be able to be a nurse, especially to have
I
to
don't know
deal
how they
with
do it.
crotchety old men like you. But you're not an old man. You're
probably
young
was,
at
I
heart.
probably was a dream compared to some of the other people.
Well, I
in
was
that
gonna say,
thing.
Devo was
But
really
you know, a
into
lot of them
crotchety.
were ready for a final standing 8 count.
Yeah.
Which you know, it's never a pretty
All
scene.
right, speaking of standing 8 counts, okay, so here's a weird thing that happened this morning. I'm going to share with you a DM that I got. What I did this morning is I kind of sent an invite out to all my friends on Facebook to kind of like and follow us on the Lunchbox, on the official Lunchbox Facebook page. And as a result, I've got a lot of friends that have followed us. Look at this beautiful
Mayo.
Southern
that.
Cobb salad. That
Wow.
looks healthy. You've got some eggs and avocado and
Yeah, a little of
bacon
everything.
and grilled chicken. But anyway, lo and behold, somebody sent a DM to the Mike Mayo's Lunchbox page, and the message
And the name wasn't Jeff DeForest.
the message said this, and this is from a guy.
It just feels like what Defo said to you for
Is it
the last
somewhat
2 years.
unflattering?
Yes, it's
all
great.
right.
It's
His name is
great.
Mark Angelo Cummings. He used to be my personal trainer. This is hard to believe that I
Oh
had
no,
a
you had a
personal
personal trainer to train you to do what?
when I turned
Catch
40
fish
years
like
old.
a seal? I mean, what did they
When he
train you
wasn't
for?
eating like
Mark
this.
is an interesting character also because he was kind of at the forefront of the. Well, he's transsexual. He was born Maritza and then he became Mark. But anyway, he's excellent personal trainer. But he moved from Hollywood
I
to.
spritz tomato all over you.
That's okay. New Mexico a while
That's how
back.
fresh they are.
Here's the message I got today, Mike. You've put on quite a bit of weight since I last trained you.
When was that?
When I was 40 years old. That's
Oh, okay.
40 years ago.
I was like, oh, good. Well,
It
at least it was
seems
15 years.
it seems most people have
Or 17, I
forgotten.
guess.
It seems most people have forgotten the meaning of healthcare, and food has become their drug.
Okay.
I mean,
Please rethink your
fair.
mission. Please rethink your mission and use this platform to educate on the importance of eating healthy.
Tell
All right.
Mark to watch our
you,
show.
You do a certain amount of that, I believe.
My response to this is no. No. My response to this is I do eat healthy. I just eat a little too much. You see, I don't go to fast food joints.
No,
I
no,
don't
no.
write about fast food joints. I hardly ever go. I mean, it's
Oh, by the way,
What?
I had to drive when I was driving north there last night on Federal Highway. Never have I seen this. 6 cars lined up in the Arby's drive-thru.
Wow, that's
Okay.
a record.
The
That's a
over-under
record.
is always a half.
Yes.
And usually the underplayers are cashing. And there were 6 cars lined up. Now, this was right around dinner time.
there goes your theory that the over/under is always a half car, right? It's
I mean,
never
no,
more than one vehicle. At,
Never have
Arby's.
I failed to cash on the under on that.
Well, I will never be in that line because
Even though they have the meats.
Arby's is not on my rotation. And
Did you
I
ever
really,
like it? I used to like it when it first
No,
came
I
out.
didn't. I liked occasionally a Chick-fil-A, occasionally
I like Arby's.
a McDonald's Egg McMuffin in the morning. But really, it would really take me going very late into the night at a poker tournament, being absolutely famished at 3 a.m. to see me at a McDonald's for a Big Mac or a
Even a Taco Bell?
Taco Bell. So no, I mean, I the food that we promote here and that we go around and we love.
But
Batch
this is
New
relatively
Southern
healthy, even though
Yeah.
you're thinking Southern food is going to be dripping with honey and all kinds of stuff.
When you use quality ingredients, you eat in moderation, then any meal can be healthy.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
having a salad. Here
Great
you
salad,
have
by the way.
mussels. We're going to have a fish dish later. They have a grouper dish on the menu.
Yeah.
So yeah, obviously you can go the fried chicken route. Shrimp and grits has, shrimp and grits is not that bad except for maybe a little bit of the butter. But
Well, it depends
You
because
can't-
sometimes it's cheese grits, but sometimes it's not. So shrimp and grits actually probably not so, especially when it's mostly the seasonings they use. Cajun seasonings are actually not highly fatty.
no, they're highly
flavorful,
addictive. They're addictive
flavorful,
Yeah,
but
they're
they're
so
actually
good.
not bad for you. And that's the thing is, look, when you get the fried chicken, the waffles, okay, fine, and you're pudding, but it's a lot of the time it's the additives you add, the syrup, the butter, all the other things, condiments, ketchup, and mayonnaise, like usually are really high in salt and sugar and
Look,
sometimes fats.
I got my 4-mile walk of life in this morning. I am trying to be more mindful. I do have 4 more months still to maybe try to lose 40 pounds.
This
although
letter got to you.
things are
didn't it?
not going.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
no, for
I mean,
sure.
what do
I
we?
mean, it was very direct. I
Look,
love the direct.
He
I have-
shamed you into rethinking your position.
I have self-awareness.
Yeah.
Look, I know that I've put on weight. I know that. Look, I go around
The
and
problem is
I
it's
enjoy-
uncomfortable. Though. You got to just deal with it yourself, and say, "Hey, do I want to feel this way?" No.
Who says it's uncomfortable? I feel very
Oh, you do
comfortable
go
in my
down.
own skin.
So did the guy in the whale. I mean,
You
but
just keep buying bigger pants, especially the
No,
stretchy ones.
no.
But no,
if you're okay with it, then don't worry
my
about
your
it.
point
body.
is this, okay? And even somebody here today said, because we go around and they bring out all these different platters, and the advice that I got today, very sage from one of the
Brandon, no,
managers
Brandon
here.
said it, yeah.
Brandon says, you don't have to eat everything.
That's what we've been saying.
You don't though. It's just
Here's
there's
the
a lot of
problem. Okay, if it's really delicious, I hate wasting anything.
Yeah.
Number two, but number one is when I do just have a couple of bites, and then all the detritus amasses on the plate. Then you guys mock me for having
Well,
a plate like a
it's weird.
toddler.
So take a quarter and then eat the quarter. You will take a half of something and then have a bite of the half.
Yeah.
A lot of times people serve me like yesterday. By the way, big props to Andrew Garavuso and the team.
Well, what a
that
great
was
job
great.
they did there.
Sicilian, that was fantastic.
oven in Cooper
Wow,
City.
that was amazing.
You would never know that place is practically brand new. I mean, they've been at it now for 8 weeks, so that's about the time when a new restaurant
They had a nice
usually
crowd. They have residual people already for a place
finds
that's
its
been over for 2
groove.
months.
Alex Fernandez, 97 world champion Marlin out
Yep,
there
yep.
enjoying lunch. He looks felt and trim.
look
And
good.
but again, they're a bunch of pros, and they were ready from day one. They got things, nothing but positive reviews on the Let's Eat South Florida group about Sicilian Oven there and
It's
elsewhere.
one of the most consistent places. Whatever location you go to, you can kind of count on the same vibe. Good feeling when you walk in, being treated really well by the servers, and then on top of that, food coming out in a very efficient and
it's all delicious, and it's
professional
hard.
fashion. Yeah,
It's hard there not to eat everything.
those,
but
those meatballs really surprised me. I don't know why. I wasn't expecting anything quite that level of quality.
among the great things that Andrew did was he served us, and he kind of sliced things up
Yes.
and put it on the plate so that I wouldn't stuff a full arancini rice ball in my mouth.
The guy's a natural though for the show. He really
he's
is.
great.
Oh, he's fun. He's a
we
lot of
hope
fun.
to do more with them in coming months
Near
at
future.
various locations. But meanwhile, we're here.
Every
Batch
day.
New Southern Kitchen and
2
Tap,
home runs so far.
525 North Federal
And the mussels
Highway,
are fantastic.
Fort
Yeah.
Lauderdale. Can you grade this day any higher than a 10? I
No,
mean,
this
it's
is
a
perfect.
perfect 10.
Beautiful out. Yeah.
I don't
It's
see any clouds in the sky. It is a perfect, I'm going to say it's about 69, 70 degrees.
Yeah, it's after one end, it's still cool, which
Sun's
is rare for
beautiful,
South
yeah.
Florida.
We are perched up here on the deck. You get the fire pits behind us, some people enjoying some al fresco lunch
Yep.
around us. You do have the inside bar interior, and it's going to be a really big couple of days here at the Batch Fort Lauderdale because today is Whiskey Wednesday. Tonight they have 2 events, groups coming in that are kind of having networking events. Like, I don't know if it's young professionals, but I think Brandon was saying about 100 people are going to be here along with live music from 6 to 8. Come on out. It's going to be a happening spot for happy hour tonight.
Yep.
And it is the place to be also tomorrow night. They're going to be having a special. You see this big, beautiful bottle of Angel's Envy bourbon in front of me. And they're having an Angel's Envy like kind of educational tasting event
Yep,
tomorrow.
yep.
Don't you love it when they frame drinking in the
It's
realm
tasty.
of
Yeah.
education?
It is educational. Yeah.
And I love that. And Phil and and Kate over at Visit Lauderdale Food and Wine Festival when it's drink for the kids because it's benefiting the Joe
It's all
DiMaggio
for a good
Children's
cause.
Hospital.
Absolutely.
That
So
saying is
drink
my
for the
favorite.
kids and drink for your own education. 2 of my favorite things about the food and hospitality business.
Yep.
Tomorrow night, Angel's Envy, kind of a bourbon education class. You can get tickets for it. It's going to be right here at Batch for 525 North Federal Highway. Go on to eventbrite.com, look up Batch Fort Lauderdale, and you'll be able to get your Eventbrite tickets for tomorrow's Angel's Envy event. It's going to be a good time.
Yep.
And also live music. And even, you could just come on out if you don't want to take part in the bourbon education and just have a nice happy hour, live music, dinner. They've got lunch, dinner, weekend brunch.
Yep.
Tell us about your brunch experience.
Well, the
here
brunch,
again.
I've been here, again, as I've talked about since we first started coming out to Batch. I heard of Batch 2-3 years ago before we even were doing a show together. Shirley's best friend and her now husband loved it. And since Kevin, they've also now, we've talked about it, they've taken it to another level. Dinner, I know they do a good job, and we're going to actually be sampling a lot more of their dinner things today. But I'm already a big fan of the brunch. Brunch do a really good job. You get the southern flavors. This time we have more of a New Orleans. You're going to New Orleans, and I know we had it when we went with you and Val, but I only had a taste, and I don't remember it being that good or bad. I just don't remember it. And Shirley's like, we're getting the because we can only eat so much. You have to get the biscuits. To me, that's an automatic. And they do a sausage gravy, but their sausage gravy they do it with a little bit of the like a ham on top of the
Don't
sausage.
they call that a
like
red eye gravy? It has a little bit of the ham or some,
and it's like a cheese undertone to it on top of that with a little bit of a kick. It was fantastic. So it's like we can only eat so much.
As you would describe it, Mike Mayo.
It wasn't overwhelming cheese. You can just tell there was some cheese there.
He's getting good. He's got cheesy undertones.
Oh, yeah. Cheesy undertones.
You've got
most of my deals had cheesy undertones.
That's the problem.
Most of your jokes too. But
Yeah,
that's all
pretty
good.
much.
Oh, look at it. That is the coffee rubbed cast iron
Oh,
steak.
there's more stuff coming.
Flat iron steak. I'm sorry.
Don't get too excited. The table's rising.
No. It's all good. We've got the high top, which is a good thing.
So we got the shrimp, the spicy, or the Cajun shrimp Benedict. But instead of
brunch, right?
Instead of an English muffin, they put it on a fried green tomato. And again, like we talked about last week, it was actually the perfect consistency, flavor, and size. Because a lot of the time, the English muffin is thick and it takes a lot of the hollandaise on, and it takes a lot of the flavor. This, because it was thin and crispy, because it was fried, it was a perfect flavor combination, and it allowed you to taste the shrimp and taste the hollandaise. And the egg was extremely well done, a good job poached. So it was just great. And I was like, wow, I would never think to do this. And it was fantastic.
I'm good, Michael. I'm good.
Well, you notice I have not.
Yeah, what
touched,
happened?
I've not touched this fork with
Your
my own mouth.
etiquette has been revolutionized. Is this
I
Val?
wanted you to try the
Val wants to
coffee rubbed flat iron
Val
steak.
has watched the show.
Oh,
with
look
some
out,
roasted
look out. Wait a minute.
potatoes.
Whoa.
And now I'm going to go in.
Hold the
I'm gonna-
cameras right now. I mean, this is unbelievable what's coming out here.
Well, we've got beautiful fish.
Holy moly. What
We've
on
got
earth?
beautiful coffee
that's-
rubbed steak.
Mayo, I
Oh, look
see
at
where
these
you're holding.
potatoes.
Oh, my God.
I don't know if that big bite's going to be happening.
Brandon's
today.
classic.
I am-
Brandon's like, you don't have to eat everything. No, just any of it, because I'm going to
Thank
give
you,
you something with cheese and bacon on it.
Brandon has really put a challenge in front of you to not eat everything.
No, look
And
at
I
me.
don't
Look at
think
me.
it
I'm
can be
going
done.
into the salad. This lean, delicious meat.
Oh, look
Beef
at that.
looks great.
Well, what
The
is this?
fish looks
What is
great.
this on this bun? We need
This
a
one?
description. No,
Oh,
over
the
there.
bun.
Yeah.
Well, the bun is, I believe, it's a pulled pork with onion straws. Is
Is that a
right?
burger too? Is there a burger under it?
Carolina brisket sandwich.
sandwich,
Like I
okay.
said, it's
There
not
you
pork
go.
at all.
Oh,
It's
my.
Carolina brisket.
sandwich.
Pulled
okay.
brisket with the onion straws on it. Looks like a big old potato bun.
I mean, you need to get a picture of that.
And my goodness, what's on these fries? The fries look like my old trainer has a definite point there.
Yeah. Why are those so appealing? I mean,
Why
they
is
just
it?
look great.
It seems like of all these beautiful things, and I'm going to have a bite of this and this fish. Beautiful grouper. It looks like, is it over a succotash thing?
Sweet corn succotash. Nice.
Suffer and succotash. I love saying succotash. I haven't
But I
eaten
like how they've
a sweet
embraced
corn.
Great.
they've
Yeah.
embraced the Southern mentality
Yeah.
with also the elevated mentality.
Oh, and I'm sorry, I didn't serve you yet. I
That's
have
fine,
not.
I'm
I have
okay.
not eaten
I'm
from this
I'm
fork
taking
yet.
my time.
This flat iron steak cooked perfectly medium rare.
Yeah,
Got
it's really
nice
nice.
edges with the coffee rub.
Yep.
Look at these roasted potatoes.
Nice. Oh, and their
look
potatoes are ridiculous. The
Very
potatoes
good,
that
yeah.
you get with the
Completely.
breakfast.
Somebody's
Which
got to
is
dive into
are
that
amazing.
brisket
Crispy,
sandwich,
sick.
though. Come on, Mike.
I don't even know how
That's
to get
gonna
to the
be
sandwich.
there.
We'll have to
Okay,
cut that up
there.
a little
Hold
bit.
on.
That's a lot.
First, here's
People want to see this
I'll
happen.
eat the
no,
fries.
I'm going to be very restrained because we've got a
People
lot of
don't want
show
to see a
left.
restrained
You got to
Mayo.
build up to the big finish. So
Yeah.
That looks classic. It should be eaten
that
as it
steak
came
is
out.
great.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm-
very tender, and this is lean. This is healthy, lean protein.
yes.
Man, next time I come in for dinner, I'm getting this. That's
It is
good.
really well.
very,
It's
very
really
good.
good.
That coffee on the edges gives it a little bit of a sweetness almost. It's like an earthiness. Very, very nice. Good stuff. Do we want to talk about last night? Well, first of all, talk about. All right, here's the thing.
Okay, but what do you, okay, how
when
do you,
restaurants
the former
open,
critic, how do you treat it last night?
here's how I treat it.
To the public, not when we know how we talked about it.
Right.
To the public, where you are the one that tells people don't just slam places, give people this and give people that, and understand this and understand that. How do you treat last night?
So last night they had a kind of invitation only for some guests, a kind of pre-opening party celebrating the return of Peking Duck House on Atlantic Boulevard in Pompano Beach, a place that
Devo
I've
talked
driven
about
That was
by a
one of my
million
favorite
times,
spots. Yeah.
and one of his regulars, him and the Mustang.
Yeah.
Uh,
Stang wasn't big on Chinese, but
No, Devo's been going there.
I
for
know a lot of
years.
people that had New York authentic kind of Chinese on their mind. I don't know that it was that, but it was really good
well,
and
so
reasonable.
in-
It wasn't like Rainbow Palace or something.
one of those places that was a dependable kind of neighborhood Chinese place, but would also draw people because it's on a major thoroughfare. And the way they used to be, it was like you said, traditional New York. They served the big steaming bowl of fried
Yeah.
rice and lo mein in those silver tins where you lift the lid up and the
Very
steam
good with
comes up.
takeout and delivery too.
So the previous owners, I heard that he died. The
Kenny
gentleman
checked
died.
out. Yeah.
And the place
was a great
closed
guy.
down. It closed down for a while. I think it was even right around COVID.
Seems like 3 years.
Right. The place was bought by this it's a restaurant group. It's a husband and wife, Tina and Jason. Tina was there last night.
Okay. Yeah, we
And
met her.
They operate 6 different restaurants around South Florida that are mainly like sushi, or what you call the kind of pan Asian, where they have a little bit of some fried rice or noodles, pad thai, some Thai dishes, Korean dishes, but a lot of sushi. They have a place called Coco Sushi Lounge in Delray Beach. They have a place in Fort Lauderdale right next to Gilbert's called Koi Sushi, which Val is a regular there. They do a very successful job, but they decided to buy Peking Duck House and keep it as a mainly Chinese restaurant. A lot of interest in it with the group.
Oh,
So
yeah.
to answer
Yeah.
your question,
Yeah.
okay, we get invited last night. A little bit disorganized. They went back and forth whether they were going to have it as kind of a pass around event, just have people grazing, maybe do a buffet style. The last minute they decide they want to have like full drill with servers and sit down service, and as happens with new endeavors, it was basically they were in the weeds all night.
Yes, that's actually the term I would have used. You used another term when we were there, and that's the term I would have used.
And basically, instead of having, if you're going to do it like that, you stagger the opening so that
And the
you
times
have
too. The times
20
for
people
to
come in
Yep,
at 6, have another 20 come at 6:30, so that gives the kitchen a chance. Instead, it was like,
Yep, free for all.
It was chaos.
Yeah, that's it.
I hate to use any words that could get us canceled, but like a something fire drill, and the
a bleep show. I mean, it just
Probably
at times it
appropriate,
was.
but,
so
might be in poor taste in some
So the
circles.
way I handle it is this. It's like the horse that runs for the first time that stumbles out of the gate. You
Yeah.
just scratch it out in your racing form. You say, does this place have promise? They've redone it. It looks bright. The interiors look clean. You could smell the fresh coat of paint. They've kept the same chef as before. And I got a chance to chat with Tina after you guys
Oh, you
had to
did?
leave. And,
Okay.
they brought
Okay.
out some food. The ribs were good. The wings
The food
were
was
good.
solid. It wasn't perfect, but it was solid.
The guy, again, they have the old chef, so he's using
yeah.
the old recipes.
Okay,
So
okay.
that's something, it seems like they're trying to put on some more modern, fancy touches on the dishes.
Yeah.
It's not served like in those steaming silver tray bowls. It's more on the plates with the garnishes and some herbs. But the bottom line is this, Tina, and I told Tina, I said, look, I'm not going to write anything that you guys are open yet on the group. I
Yeah,
said,
believe-
you guys need to be in kind of like soft open mode for a few weeks. You'll get the ground beneath
Can we
you.
get
You'll
invited
get,
back a couple more times?
well, at least one more time.
that's the thing is,
We've been invited back to go back in a few
Nice,
weeks, and I told
nice.
her how much we want to do a show there, and she's
Yeah,
open
yeah.
to that.
Okay.
And I said, at some point after you've been open for 6 weeks or 7 weeks, and
Yeah.
and then so they're not officially open yet, but they're going to be in soft open mode soon, and let the servers kind of get to get a feel of things. They're going to bring in some of their other managers and servers from some of their other restaurants, and I what I do is, I'm not going to go on there and say, oh, this was awful. It's the first day, and
Yeah, no.
it was a preview event. Nobody got charged anything. So that's what it's there for. Now, I don't know, some people had no patience. They walk out. I hope they don't go on and Yelp and start, bashing, because friends
Well, you
and
wouldn't
family.
know because you didn't get to eat anything.
Yeah. Well,
I
I
mean,
got
that
to,
was a problem. It just took them forever to get around to it. but
well, it eventually came out.
maybe
But
because they switched up at the last minute. That could be.
That's
the bottom line is
100% what
this. I told her, I'm not going to say a word. I'll let you guys, kind of get your soft opening mode, which is kind of what Even Keel did on
Well, I was going to
Marsalis.
say, isn't that what Even
Yeah, I
Keel
mean,
did? And
it's
I think
not
that's a good move.
uncorrectable. You know, it was
and
by PR standards, it wasn't necessarily favorable.
Now, inevitably, because Let's Eat is a bunch of yentas, or it is a New Z forum. So somebody passed by last night and said, "Oh, the parking lot is full. They must be open again." And they kind of just wrote those two sentences, and I approved that this morning. And then in the first comment, I explained that it was
It's opening,
invite open,
Right.
friends and family event, and that they're going to be doing their soft opening soon, and that they're going to need a little time. And I also gave Tina some, nobody hires me as a consultant, but I'm always I always like
They're
to
usually
give
interested by your
tips.
opinion.
Yeah.
They are, whether
And,
we
you know,
understand it or not.
little things like just
How
less.
gently did you put it?
Well, I'm pretty gentle.
Well, he was
Oh, yeah?
nice when I was
Yeah.
around, so I'm presuming he was nice.
And again, because I want to get in there and do a show. And to me, they're an interesting couple because Tina and Jason have been very successful. When you start opening up restaurants left and right, it means you're doing something right. They're going to be also opening Psycho Eye is their like sushi concept in Boca. They're opening one of those soon in Plantation and also Coral Springs.
Oh, nice.
So they got two more of their kind of sushi
my wife
Pan
loves
Asian
sushi.
concepts coming up that are going to be opening in the next couple of months. So I'm interested in just talking to them about their whole life story. So
I'll
we're
tell
gonna
you what, they'll be successful if they bring it back to any semblance of what it was, and then maybe with a few tweaks, it could always any place could get better.
Yeah.
But they would have a lot of success if they brought back any facsimile of what the Peking Duck House was.
give the people what they
Yeah,
want.
if they have
which-
the chef, why couldn't you just do that?
And
Right, I
it was
think-
very efficiently operated before, so I'm assuming that'll happen again since they've had success in other places.
and it looks like
I would tend to chalk up last night as just an unfortunate.
well, it was one of those things. It's an
thing.
opening
Yeah.
night that it turned into something that is you just move on from that.
Yeah, that's
And-
what it felt
and-
like.
I love the look on your friend's face when she found out no one
Oh,
had been
you
to the
had-
table yet.
We hadn't been served.
It's okay.
She was like, "What?" It was great.
She like ran.
Look,
They fear you, Mayo. I mean, everyone in the industry. It's
fear
amazing.
or
Yeah.
respect. Luckily, I had no place to be. You were off in a rush to
Well-
see your friend Schofield at the
The great Matt
Tipperary
Schofield.
Lounge, and you were in a
Unbelievable
rush.
job by
I
those
do some
guys
trivia.
too. Yeah.
You were in a rush to do your trivia night. I just sat there all night, and eventually, they brought out the stuff, and I was able to eat it. And the little things they're going to correct. Like making sure they have the. Some of the accoutrements, the
Yeah, you
soy
want the-
sauce,
and
and the
you-
Chinese mustard on the table.
And you want the noodles, with the
noodles, the crunchy
wontons.
noodles.
I would have been happy with a bunch of noodles.
Yeah.
And house mustard.
But anyway, let's not dwell on the negative. Let's talk about what we got in front of us.
Yeah,
Did you try
please,
the
I mean,
steak yet?
somebody's got to try
The
this
steak
brisket
is
sandwich.
fantastic. I do want to
Yeah.
try the fish.
Now I've touched this. Let me.
Yeah.
You have a fork that's
I
been
licked my
untouched.
fork.
I'm going to use
Just use a spoon. Yeah, just use a spoon.
And,
By the way, an excellent Cobb salad here. Unbelievably fresh.
I'm going to
and,
put
I don't
this.
need
Where
a
should I
piece
put it?
of
Right here.
I don't care. I
Okay.
don't need a piece that big.
Give you a little succotash with some of the.
Give Defo
Brussels.
a taste. Defo likes fish.
Oh, look at that! They got butter beans in here. Oh my goodness, I love a good butter bean. Corn, I have to kind of try to.
Yeah, you're weird with corn.
Be careful with, but the fish looks great. It looks
It's really
perfectly
nice.
cooked.
Really looks
Seared-
good.
This is
Yeah,
grouper.
yeah. Yep.
I assume from Florida waters. I'm going to take a couple of butter
I think
beans.
that thing was swimming like at 9 a.m.
Do you want some of the fish? Do you want to
I'll take a little bite. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Fish
I
looks
haven't had
nice.
a good piece in a while.
Look at that.
Nice. Perfect.
Again, we're at Batch, and they have
Look at the variety here. And,
breakfast.
and everything's
I'm sorry,
a
they
taste
got
sensation.
weekend brunch, lunch, and dinner, 7 days a week. They'll take great care of you. And I guess before I go into this bite of the fish,
Grouper's excellent.
Oh, the succotash is fantastic.
oh, it's already 1:30. Let's take our first break.
Yep.
Again, once we're here, we love just again extolling the virtues of Batch. Come here, 525 North Federal Highway, open 7 days, and that garage that you see right behind me, those apartment buildings.
Yeah,
that on
you
the
can actually
side
show it.
street,
It's literally right there.
Yeah. You just
Free.
slide in there, and they've got
Up to the first three floors.
3 levels.
2 floors.
I had to go up to the top level because it's
I did.
it's high season
It's a
now,
busy day.
and
But your picture is the signal that it's okay to park there.
yeah, no. and
The big face of Mayo.
able to go right in, and you just see a sign that says parking 4 hours for restaurants and retail shops, and you just slide in there and just walk on down, and right across the street you're here. Batch is the place to come for creative, delicious Southern cuisine, along with great cocktails.
And beyond, yeah.
Grouper's
House
excellent.
infused cocktails. All right, let's
Really good.
take our first break. We'll be back with more on the Lunchbox after these words. Comfort food from a scratch kitchen, delicious drinks and house-made spirits from a craft bar, a great vibe inside and out with a spacious patio. I'm talking about Batch New Southern Kitchen and Tap, Fort Lauderdale, in the heart of the city at 525 North Federal Highway. It's open 7 days for lunch, dinner, and weekend brunch with classics like fried chicken and waffles and shrimp and grits, and creative items like pecan-crusted salmon and a fried green tomato BLT. And the drinks? Smooth sipping and so good. There's convenient free parking and a garage next door, happy hour at the bar, an entire patio, 4 to 7 Monday to Friday, and live music every Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. It's pet and people friendly and with cozy fire pits for when the temperature dips. For reservations and more information, go to batchsouthernkitchen.com. Hey, it's Mayo here for Delaware Chicken Farm and Seafood Market. Since 1951, family owned for over 70 years, the home of freshness. I've been a customer for over 3 decades, and it's the place to go for poultry, steaks, meats, and of course, their unbelievable selection of fish and seafood. They've got it all. Key West pink shrimp, grouper, snapper, lobster, and of course, Florida stone crab claws of all sizes. Don't forget their famous fish dip and a full selection of prepared foods. It's located at 4191 North State Road 7 in Hollywood, just across from the Seminole Classic Casino. Owner Doug Carter and crew will take great care of you. Make sure to check out their weekly specials and daily catch online at DelawareChicken.com. Quality, value, freshness, that's the Delaware way. Tell them Mike Mayo and the Lunchbox sent you. If you like seafood in a comfortable setting, outdoors, even keel fish shack at the corner of A1A and Commercial Boulevard in Lauderdale by the Sea, that's my spot. It's upscale food in a down-home setting. The chef owners, Dave and Brad, do a terrific job with all the seafood classics that you want. They have the best grilled oysters in town, bang bang shrimp, lobster rolls, and deli fish specials. They also have weekend brunch Saturday and Sunday. They have deli happy hour 4 to 7, and they also have other weekly specials like mussels on Monday and oysters on Tuesday. Go to Even Keel Fish Shack and tell them that the Lunchbox sent you. Mexican food with innovative twists, margaritas with a medley of tongue-tingling flavors. I'm talking about Taco Craft, Taqueria, and Tequila Bar, the place to go on Taco Tuesday and every day. It's located at 510 North Federal and Highway in Fort Lauderdale, and also in Lauderdale by the Sea at Plantation Walk, and soon in Coral Springs. Taco Craft has specials every day, including bottomless drinks for a Sunday brunch, and Taco Tuesdays with their $4 premium tacos, including their new burrito tacos with bone marrow broth. Oh, it's so good. They've even made a taco lover out of me, and they've got so much more, including fajitas, that open-faced smashed cheeseburger tortilla that's new, and a guacamole sample that's an explosion of flavors. The kitchen is open late. There's delivery and takeout. For more information, go to tacocraft.com. Tell them Mike Mayo the Lunchbox sent you. Want great Italian food in a beautiful beachfront setting? Have I got the place for you? Casa Calabria at the Ocean Manor Resort, 4040 Galt Ocean Drive in Fort Lauderdale. Highly rated across all the restaurant review platforms and totally Mike Mayo's Lunchbox approved. Delicious, authentic Southern Italian food in a cozy dining room overlooking the Atlantic. Live music in the lounge, full bar, and a great wine list. Owner Frank Talrico takes great pride in his family recipes from his native Calabria. Fresh fish and seafood, veal, house-made pastas, and marinara sauces smooth as silk. You gotta try the imported meats and cheeses on the antipasto platters, and don't miss that ricotta gnocchi. Fluffy little pillows straight from heaven. Casa Calabria, open for dinner Tuesday through Sunday, closed on Mondays. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. Hey, it's Mike Mayo. When the Brooklyn boy in me wants a good bagel with Nova or some matzo ball soup, homemade knishes, or a great deli pastrami sandwich on rye, you know where I go? Grandpa's Cafe in Dania Beach. It's been around a long time, an institution, but a little over a year ago, a pair of New Yorkers came in, bought it, and refurbished the place. It's beautiful, and they are now serving great breakfast, brunch, lunch. They've got the omelets. They've got eggs Benedict. They've got all kinds of great baked goods like rugelach. Grandpa's is just off Federal Highway on Southwest 1st Street in Dania Beach. It's open 7 days. Go in there, tell them that the Lunchbox sent you. We're back on the lunchbox. We've got a whole cornucopia, a smorgasbord, cornucopia, plethora of plates.
How
here
good was
at
that
Batch.
grouper, Mike Mayo? Did you try some of
I'm
that?
in the middle of
You're
it.
not a big fish guy.
I am
for
trying
that
to
fish.
heed Brandon's advice of you don't have to eat everything. So let me take some inventory. I've had so far one mussel with that Nashville hot butter,
That was
You did good
tremendous.
there.
Yeah,
a couple of bites of that sourdough bread dunked in said butter.
even better.
I had one slice of the coffee rubbed iron
Which was
steak.
fantastic. Okay,
Perfectly
what is
cooked
when they
steak,
say flat
yeah.
iron steak? What does that mean?
It's just a cut of beef that is kind of similar to a flank steak.
Okay.
You
Because
can tell it's very lean. This is healthy. I mean, if you eat just like 3 or 4 ounces of this
Yeah,
steak
just don't
with some
overdo it.
salad,
yeah, just don't
that-
overdo
Yeah,
it.
That's
but
a
when you
beautiful
had
thing.
like 6 cannolis the night before, one lunch that,
that was
has
2
some
nights
element
ago.
of not being deadly
Can I just
for
feel
you.
good about myself for one
I
day?
like that you
about
walked
that. Yeah,
4
go ahead,
miles,
man.
and you
You
are
know,
trying.
You
to
did do the walk of life.
It's not
today. Proud of
easy
you,
when
yeah.
you get abused by former personal trainers. You're basically telling me that
This
I'm
guy
just
got
like
you,
a,
fat
man.
ass.
like a
There's certain things like a woman will say that stick with you for 50 years.
Yep.
You know, after like,
Yep.
Mike.
when
You put
somebody
on a
described you in
lot
an
of weight
unflattering,
since I worked with you.
well, that's probably true. I mean,
yeah.
if it was, you were 40 then. You were
I
fairly
was
trim.
40.
Yeah.
I'm now
He's
57. I
living a
also
different
had
life
a few.
too, and
You know, I was a professional food critic. I guess maybe you consider me still am. I don't know, but
Oh,
it's
yeah.
What
like
Definitely are.
quantifies
going-
you to be a food critic?
the amount of food I eat.
Yes.
That's the
Now,
answer.
how come when I read that post though, it did say what
she
qualifies
fixed
you?
it. She
Because
edited
she
it.
fixed it. It was
She
one of
edited
those
it.
Oh, okay.
Joanne's typos.
I like when
at the
Joanne
beginning.
goes on a rant though.
I love when it starts with the typo and I just seize on that. And
Yeah,
I
she
thought it was a
hated
pretty
it.
good line because her typo was
You will
what,
bury somebody for bad grammar,
what-
typo, misuse of
what
word.
quantifies you
Yeah.
for being a food critic. And I
If
said, the
anyone's
amount of food I
quantified.
eat.
240 some odd pounds.
Then
That
she
quantifies
changed it to what she meant, what qualifies
qualifies
you. And my answer was absolutely nothing.
Nothing.
Oh, geez, look out, man. What is this guy doing? This
But-
Brandon, he's out of his mind.
I actually say we don't need it.
Real
He's
answer.
like,
Oh,
oh my
God.
God.
Like, I mean, we're gonna not bring it out. I'm
You
like,
see, I was just
okay.
patting myself
Just
on the
right,
back.
he's just patting himself on the back for being
He's like in
Mr.
the
how
Health.
background
trained I've
mocking
been.
you. I love that he's like mocking you
I
in the
took
background.
one little nibble of this beautiful the brisket, Carolina brisket
Oh,
sandwich.
smell those waffles.
Kind of seeped
Wow.
in a little bit of a mustard, tangy mustard sauce
Yep,
with the
Carolina,
fried
yep.
onions.
Did you
But
try
I
it?
didn't do a big
No, I
bite.
cut it. You didn't
You
even take. I
cut
actually
it.
cut the whole thing. You didn't
I-
take all of
I
it.
dissected it like
You
How
took a part of it,
disappointed is the crowd going to be? If you
a
don't?
biologist, like a surgeon. I just had little pieces of it.
I hear the
and-
chant in the background. Mayo,
I couldn't
Mayo.
resist the chicken and waffles as a showstopper here.
Their
I
chicken
mean,
and waffles.
Take
is
a whiff of that.
fantastic.
Can you? Do you still have a sense of smell?
Oh yeah,
Because I
got
mean,
you.
that is
Tell us the smell.
fantastic.
Yeah, that's beautiful. I mean, to me, I could just live with fried chicken alone, but the chicken and waffles thing has become obviously a hugely popular
You got to
item.
smear a little of that
Well, and
butter
what I
on
love
it.
about their
lunch,
portions
dinner.
it's not everyone loves to share. Some people just want their meal, and there's nothing wrong with that. You get a food, you're happy, you may finish it. I don't see you finishing it. Take it home. I've reheated pretty much everything I've ever had here. Reheats wonderfully. Of course, it's better here, but reheats wonderfully. But the portions are perfect for sharing. Like literally, look at that plate. This sandwich. Like you can get a couple different items
Before I tear into it, let
and
me
an
get a
app,
picture.
and you're
It's
golden.
beautiful. Yeah, they do a really good job with their fried chicken. Again, I don't know how, the publication that I used to work for and I respect, but they did a best fried chicken in South Florida contest. How you can leave off this beautiful brined, and they do it in the pressure fryer.
Yep.
Cooked to perfection, crunchy on the outside, moist and juicy on the inside. How this didn't make the cut of finalists, it just shows.
Which way
goes
you
to
going?
show
You
you.
Where with the
I'm-
newspaper
it's like
businesses.
what's a Jenga? I'm doing a game of Jenga here. I'm trying to remove the leg without.
Now, do you eat it with the
disturbing-
waffle or
There we go.
separately?
Well,
How do you-
because
how
this
do
is
you
just such a
approach this?
beautiful thing, and it's just calling out my name, Michael.
It looks
I'm going
perfectly
right
fine.
into
though.
this
the
drumstick.
coating
And
is
and
amazing.
and apologies to everybody out there, but you're gonna have to hear the crunch.
All right,
And,
here we go.
go.
Look at that crunch. I love the
Nice
crunch.
job, man.
Nice.
The crunch was less crunchy than I expected, but it was kind of like a baby's kiss. It just like
Oh, Jesus. You get
It
that
was
one,
so
What does that even
Lubie?
mean? I don't, at least
Mark the time code
the
on that.
fakakta thing you said yesterday, I understood what it meant. It was ridiculous, but I understood it.
Yeah.
That one, I can't even defend you. I don't know what that means.
A baby's kiss. That's the
very
best you can come
gentle.
up with.
Baby's
No wonder they
kissing?
let you go at the sunset.
I was expecting a big crunch, and I just got like a little.
Do
Crisp.
babies kiss? Like, I think that's a thing. Like,
Oh,
they
it is.
don't.
That's the
Like,
best part. When you have a newborn and you just kind of crave
Yeah, but
The
do they
entire
kiss you?
restaurant
Go
is
up to-
stunned.
Oh,
by
you
me,
mean you're
man.
kissing a baby?
Yeah,
right?
I'm kissing a
okay.
baby.
I'm like, I don't think the babies kiss.
Well, the
They're
baby can
babies.
kiss you too. Yeah.
Don't
All right.
defend it. Don't defend it.
And I am going to go into the waffle in a little bit because look at this.
Think
This
you
is
need
like
to,
nice.
instead of a
But they
piece
got
of
this
bread.
nice butter you're going to smear
I will
on
openly
there.
admit, I'm not a huge waffle guy. Again, they have French toast here, and me and my wife can't wait to try that. It just sounds.
When you have
See,
the
this is-
continental breakfast, though, in some cheesy hotel,
Oh yeah, you do it. You have to do the Belgian.
you have to do
Yeah,
the
yeah.
waffle machine.
Now,
right?
the thing with the waffle is
Pancakes.
you got all these little crevices. So like you got to put a little bit of butter
Yep.
in each crevice.
But they make it nice and crisp.
it's kind of like the equal
perfect with the
distribution
chicken.
of the blueberries.
Nobody
You gotta
needs to
have
know
the
that you eat like a
equal
child. Man.
distribution
You're a
of the butter.
sophisticated food critic.
All right, here we go. I
Yeah.
can't resist. You know,
Oh, these are corn.
it's
Oh,
like-
these are cornbread
I
waffles.
feel
Well, that
like I've
explains
gone 12
why I actually like
rounds
these compared to
with
most
Ali
waffles.
because like I was so restrained. Look at this.
Yeah, you were doing
Look
really
at
well.
that.
Yeah,
One
no, then they brought
He
out-
brings this out.
Yeah.
I'm going big bite on this. I
They
got
brought
to
out
walk
the
on
big
some of
bats,
this.
my
This
friend,
is like
yeah.
Foreman to more. Like you were doing well,
Yeah.
and
Look
then
at
out
that.
of
I gotta put
nowhere,
the syrup
Brandon
on.
One
came out
shot.
of nowhere and had to lay you out.
You guys ruined me. I'm going
I
to blame
didn't tell you to do
everybody
this.
in my life
I did
except
not tell
myself.
you
You're
to
like
do
Doc
this.
Rivers on this
I'm
show.
not going
My
to take
God.
any
Blame everybody but
responsibility, no
yourself.
personal
Yeah.
responsibility.
Exactly. Exactly. You're the
It was
Doc
the players.
Rivers.
Oh, there you go. My God.
Holy crap.
The single most disgusting antic on any
Look at he's
podcast
shoving it back in,
in
his
America.
Is that bourbon? Hold
mouth.
on.
Is there bourbon in
Huh?
the syrup? Is there bourbon in the
Oh,
syrup?
good.
Oh, geez.
Yes.
Bourbon
Bourbon maple. Wow, I don't think you can
8
tell.
miles high.
Look at this.
You
I
all
love that he's
right?
still trying to host the show. It's like, and I taste a hint of bourbon
Yeah.
as the food's shooting
There was
out of
an
his
air of
mouth.
pretension as we walked into runway 84 that night.
That
I
is
mean,
my
what kind
favorite.
of BS is this, man?
How did my life turn to this?
You met us because I don't think you were doing this before us. You actually were.
Did you ever write that as one of your leads? There was an air of pretension? No? You did?
Oh, for
my
sure. I
God.
mean, what are you talking about?
I did.
No.
Okay,
come
just
on.
finish eating the food,
That's,
Mr. Pretension.
Um,
Yeah, it's like a waffle.
there was an air of pretension as we parked our cars in what we thought was freebie parking. Yeah,
The night's
Well,
one of my
started off-
best reviews. Okay.
began with that.
No.
No.
Let me give you. Now, I remember this one by heart because
All right.
it kind of put me on the map. It was my first year
I
of
love
doing
your old school stuff.
it. There's a chef who's very highly regarded down in Miami named Brad Kilgore. He opened up. He got the shot to kind of revamp and do the restaurant at the Arsh Center for Performing Arts in downtown Miami.
You know, I once wanted to date Adrian Arsht. I had a
Yeah,
big
that was
campaign
Defo's
on
dream.
the air. Yeah,
That was Defo's
he
dream.
blew it.
yeah.
Anyway, he opened the
She's
restaurant
single still.
called Brava, which was kind of the showcase restaurant at the Performing Arts Center so that people would go there before, going to their shows or
It's
opera.
big time. Yeah.
And my lead was if Brava was a performance and not a restaurant, it would be booed off the stage.
Wow.
But
Then you
ins-
drew an air of pretension.
but instead, I
Instead-
had to sit there and just take it course after pretentious course.
Oh,
Jesus.
nice
Wow,
use
good
of the
for
word,
you.
man. Yeah.
That
Wow.
was a slam.
That belongs in any food critic's resume that they use the word pretension at some point or something related to it in reference
course
to a
after
place. Yeah.
pretentious course. Every
Yeah.
course was not good, and yet somehow tried to put on this air of.
Pretension. Exactly.
pretension.
I mean,
So-
you couldn't say it any better,
Yeah, I
any
love
more
that.
clearly.
By the way, now this show has turned into a Rolling Stones album. I've got sticky fingers. This is
You know what? How was the waffle, man?
freaking great. You got it. It's light and fluffy. And did
Oh,
you
they're
see the
asking
way?
for
It
Defo
looks
to eat a waffle.
fantastic.
Did
Yeah.
you see the way that thing
Defo's
collapsed
watching
in my mouth?
himself.
Like sometimes when I do the big bite, I have to stop because it's just like can't. That thing just collapsed,
Yeah, that was
folded
great.
in on itself,
Look
and
at-
just it was like airy and light.
The real
and
big bite has to still be yet to come, though, people, because
Sorry.
that brisket sandwich has your name on it,
No.
man. I think it says Mayo
He's
in the
had some
bun.
of it.
I am
It's
think he's
embedded
watching
in the
himself.
bun there.
heeding the words of Brandon and others. You don't have to eat everything.
No, but that you have
Everything
to
in
you have to
moderation.
give us a
No, you're
sample.
not going to goad me into that, my friend. Not this segment. Well, actually, it's time for another.
Mhm.
Time
Alright,
for
so
another
maybe-
break.
maybe in the next
Thank
segment.
God.
There's a
Let's
chance.
talk about the place we're going
I
to
mean,
be.
it's perfectly set up for the big bite.
I love Defo's
I'm
obsessed with
sorry.
the
I
big
love the way he just
bite. And
thinks
he hated
he's
the big
gonna,
bite before.
You're not going to do it.
No, don't
Delaware-
not do it because of me. I mean, I don't want to dissuade the audience from watching any further.
Tomorrow, our monthly visit to
Yeah, we're gonna
Delaware
be there. I'm
Chicken and
excited.
Seafood Farm. Who knows what big bites awaits there?
Yeah.
I don't even know what they're going to have prepared for us.
You end
'cause
up eating the shell on the stone crab with a big
Could
bite.
be.
You're amazing.
that would hurt the diverticulitis, let me tell you. But you don't have to eat the shell there. They do such a great job. If you get any of their seafood, You get the shell-off shrimp. You can even have them crack your stone crabs. I don't think they'll peel the shells for you, but they do just about everything else there. 4191 North State Road 7 in Hollywood. We're going to be out there tomorrow for our show from 1 to 2 with Gene and Jose and the whole gang. Great place to go if you're going to be doing any home entertaining, just cooking for yourself over a weekend. They've got the finest in seafood, along with the great stone crabs, the shrimp, the fish from waters near and far. Like they also have great grouper, halibut, salmon, whatever you want. They have it there. House-made sausage that Tony Segreto seems to be enamored
Big
with.
fan of, yes.
Along with
Who
all
knew,
the
right?
chicken, the
That he was a
turkey
sausage
legs,
Of all
king.
the things,
those
Yeah.
big turkey legs. Well, I didn't realize Tony, one of his early jobs was working
He
at
did
Gino's
sausage, yep,
Sausage
yep,
in
yep.
Hollywood.
Yeah.
So he knows how the sausage is made, and he was mighty impressed with the ones that they carry, house-made.
Lorenzo's
turkey,
Italian market.
Lorenzo's,
Yeah.
chicken. Lorenzo's, did he work at?
Yeah.
I thought he said, okay.
No, it's
yeah.
right. But it's sort of a consistent theme with everywhere we seem to go. The service there, and it's funny. It's like, oh, it's a market. What do you mean the service? Have you ever been to a deli? Like,
Oh my God.
like, you're there for an hour. They never pay attention to you. There's always fighting. Like none of
No.
that happens there. None of it.
They're all like they're arrayed strategically every 3
Yeah,
feet.
yes.
Yeah.
Somebody is there, and when they call out your number, and it's a very efficient number system, boom, and they'll take great care
Oh,
of
you're
you.
ready to rock and roll.
That's just
I
Defo and I
always
know
bring
it.
a few dollars, a couple of singles, because I like to tip
Yeah,
the
tip 'em. Yeah,
guys.
yeah,
And
yeah.
people are upset about tip culture now, where you gotta
Everything's a
tip
tip,
everybody.
yeah.
I tip the guys that
Yeah,
if
it's
they crack
appropriate,
a
yeah.
few stone
Well,
crabs.
because
for
they
me.
actually coach you up and they'll
Yeah,
talk to you
it's
how
like
to
you're
cook
at
this.
a
and-
great sub shop. You wanna
Nobody's
throw a couple of
obligated
bucks
to
in
do
there?
that, but I like to do that because I'm old school.
Yeah, that's fine.
And you should go there. They're open every day. Go to DelawareChicken.com. That's the website. Although I think it is under refurbishment. I went this morning.
Yeah,
to
they're
check
constantly
out.
work. Oh, nice.
But usually you go to the website. You can check out the daily catch, the weekly specials. Come on out there tomorrow and say hi to us. We're gonna have a great time. DelawareChicken.com. Delaware Chicken and Seafood Market.
Segreto coming out?
You know what?
The
I
problem
gotta-
is we don't.
I'll send them.
It's small, like, and it's
but
not
they
me being
love
mean.
Tony there.
I like again, and when Andy tried to come that day, I wasn't
I
not
know it's
inviting
small.
him.
I mean,
It's just I don't even fit. So he's
we
invited.
can
Tony's
just have
always
him be
invited.
the official greeter.
He can
just have
hang
people
out,
come
whatever.
in,
There's just not a lot of room. That's
hands
the
out
only problem
sausage
with it. Like it's sort
All
of
right,
stressful
let's
because
take
it's,
our last break. But Delaware is the greatest place for your home shopping and
You know what is
cooking.
the answer to every inquiry on Let's Eat South Florida about, hey, where can I go to get fresh this, fresh that?
Yep.
And it doesn't matter where you're coming from. It's worth the trip to Delaware Chicken Farm and Seafood Market.
Yes.
We'll be there tomorrow. It's going to be great. All right,
We
coming
will.
back with more here from Batch.
Yes.
I mean, you know what? Defining this as strictly Southern is probably a mistake because wide variety of things and they're all
It's just good
equally
food.
delicious.
well, that's
Yeah,
something
yeah.
we were talking about with
Has a southern spin.
Kevin.
Yeah.
It's a southern place, but it also is good to know it's more.
Yeah, I mean, if you are like inclined to want Southern food, can't get it any better. Even a professor would
Oh, yeah.
attest to that. And you talk about a harsh critic. He makes you look like Joan of Arc, man. You know, all right, we're coming back with more in a moment.
People come to me and say, Mike, where should I go out to eat? I got guests coming from out of town. Where should we go? Cafe Seville. That's the answer. 2768 East Oakland Park Boulevard. It's a Fort Lauderdale perennial, serving the finest in Spanish and continental cuisine in a cozy, friendly, comfortable setting. Joey Esposito and Sally, his better half, they've been running the place for a long time. It's been open since the 1980s. They got great Spanish classics like paella, shrimp with garlic sauce, and all kinds of great seafood dishes. The stuffed veal chop, oh, that's my favorite. Go to Cafe Seville. It's open every day but Sunday at 5 p.m. for dinner. Tell them that the Lunchbox Mayo and Defo sent you. Do you like burgers? Do you like wings? Do you like late night food and sports on big screen TVs and cold beer and friendly vibe and great people? Then you want to check out Shenanigans, 1300 South Federal Highway in Dania Beach. Go to Shenanigans, you get yourself all the good stuff, the fresh fish every day, the black and grilled wings, and of course, the kitchens are open late. Go there, tell them that the Lunchbox Mayo and Defo sent you. It's Mayo for Gilbert's 17th Street Grill. You know me, I love family-run places with quality food at fair prices served with passion and pride. And that's why I love Gilbert's. For more than a decade, Lenore, Beth, and Richie Gilbert have been serving up the best burgers, wings, ribs, salads, and desserts. It's a fast casual spot. Everything prepared fresh to order from an immaculate open kitchen. They're at 1821 Cordova Road in Fort Lauderdale in the Cordova Shops just south of 17th Street. open every day but Sunday. One of my favorite burgers in South Florida. Big, round, juicy pucks of 100% Angus beef, char grilled to perfection. And don't miss the sweet potato fries on the side. They're legendary. Go to Gilbert's, feast, and be happy. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. When I'm looking for some wicked good food for a wicked good lunch, there's only one place to go. That's Wicked Cheesesteaks in Fort Lauderdale. It's at 4824 North Federal Highway, just south of Commercial Boulevard and across from Holy Cross Hospital. My friend Brian there, he will hook you up with some really tasty treats. They've got cheesesteaks just like the best you can find in Philly, along with lobster rolls, because that's where he's from, Maine originally. And they have wings and pizza and everything you want to have a really good time. Wicked Cheesesteaks, they're open every day but Tuesday. Check them out online, wickedcheesesteaks.com. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. If you're looking for a great place for steaks, seafood, and more, go to Tropical Acres Steakhouse and Butcher Shop. It's at 2500 Griffin Road in Dania, just west of I-95 in the airport. They've been there a long time, since 1949. That means they're doing something right. You'll get old school hospitality from the Studiali family, along with great value, for tremendous service. Of course, you could also go into the bar for happy hour every day, 4 to 6. The early bird special runs from 4:30 to 5:30, and they have great value all night long. Also, a butcher shop that's open every day from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. except Sunday. The dining room is open every day at 4:30 except Sunday. Go to Tropical Acres. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. We're back on the Lunchbox. We're just here schmoozing, hobnobbing. Beautiful day. Got some friends. This is the place to come for a nice schmoozing, relaxing
What a great
brunch,
hang, yeah.
lunch with friends. You can spend basically the whole afternoon
Yeah,
if you
just hang
want.
here.
Cornbread waffle, outstanding.
That is
That is unique. Very nice.
Seems to be the theme of the month is fried cornbread. Of course, at Licky Sticky, it was kind of by accident necessity because she couldn't bake.
What are the
off.
food gods trying to tell you, Mike?
I'm trying to eat. Well, they're trying to tell me, like, don't listen to your former trainer. You got to do what you got to do.
The guy was a nutbag, obviously.
Just keep doing the 4 miles. If you can keep doing the 4 miles, you're working.
You know what?
Walk a life in a little moderation.
I need to. That I've been off the wagon. I don't know why, but yeah, if you just get that little bit of exercise every day, where you walk 4 miles. Or get your half hour of cardio.
Get a husky. I've never walked so much in my freaking life.
I should get a dog.
This dog. I walk 5 to 6 times a day.
Again, you can have some guilt-free eating because it'll keep everything in check, right? That's the lifestyle that you've been living in. Where has it gotten?
0.0, my friend, in terms of results.
He doesn't really feel guilty, I don't think.
Yeah.
All right.
No, I was feeling great before the hospital knocked the shit out of me. I'm sorry to curse here, but... And now I feel good again. I mean, it only took 1 or 2 days to come out of it.
Hospitals are no place to get better or get rest. That's something I've
good
learned
place
in
to
my
get
life.
sick and be in a panic about your health.
Sicker and sicker. Avoid hospitals at all costs. That is one of my rules of life.
I tried to dodge it, and I thought I was out.
Hey, we got a couple of minutes left. I want to get into some sports talk for a second because you missed your show this morning. First of all, I got to start off with a note. Jim Sarney, I love you. It's birthday month. I know. I still got to owe you a lunch.
See, unraveling a little bit, Sarney.
But he's insane. He sent me a text this morning.
About the Valentine's Day being
what are you going to do on Valentine's Day 2027 because it overlaps the same day as the Super Bowl?
I was just thinking about that. You know what? I was in a panic about that. Earlier this morning, I was thinking, how am I going to retain her affection?
The question. The question was, have you thought about how you'll spend February 14th, 27 when Valentine's Day and the Super Bowl fall on the same day? My one response, no. I have not thought about it.
I insulted Jim the other day. I didn't mean to, but I offended his sensibilities because he was talking to me about some obscure soccer element, the schedule of the MLS, which we have no idea when the season starts or finishes. And he's saying, it goes for 11 months. I said, it figures. It never starts. It never ends.
Exactly. That's not a season. That's the
Welcome,
year.
my friends, to the show that never ends.
Meanwhile,
and I said, nobody gives a flying one, basically. And he shot back, what about the 100 countries that are watching tonight's exhibition between Inter Miami, CF, and whatever else? Who are they
by the
playing?
way,
Like the Globetrotters.
Irony of ironies. You saw that now the stadium has been renamed with like a mega sponsor, Chase.
They really did get a real
sponsor. Last night they unveiled it's no longer Drive Pink Stadium. It's now, I think they're calling it Chase Stadium.
Yeah.
And it's
all
amusing
messy,
to
yeah.
me that it's probably the biggest endorsement stadium naming rights deal in all of South
Oh
Florida.
yeah. Have you seen the
is
one? The one is a Marriott.
A schlocky little, soccer
Some
stadium
dump of
where
a
high
stadium,
school
yeah.
It's
football
Lockhart.
games
Yeah,
are
it's
played.
Lockhart.
Lockhart Stadium is now Chase Stadium. They're probably paying like $500 million a year for those
Yeah.
naming rights because it's messy and
Yeah,
they got
when you
so
were in
much
like
exposure.
elementary school, you dreamt of playing there if you were from Florida.
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
honestly.
But it's not exactly Yankee Stadium. I mean,
No, it's
now
Lockhart.
it's Chase Stadium, which is Hard Rock Live Stadium is nice. It's got a nice ring.
Yeah,
I
that's
still
big.
don't know what the Panthers Arena is now.
It's a Marriott
Amaranth?
Bank.
What's
Marriott Bank.
What is a Merit Bank?
It said bank. I don't
Chase,
know.
I know. Chase,
Yeah.
I see on every block. Where do you see an Amaranth?
I don't know.
And what is the name of the? Well, it used to be the In Excess Center or the Sam Fraud Brinkman
Oh, the
Arena.
Heat?
or what's the?
It's
what's,
Kaseya.
what happened to that guy?
what
He's
the
not
heck
in the
is
news.
Kaseya?
Oh, good. I don't know.
You sing or is that something
not
that you
Chase.
rub on the
Yeah,
flat iron
exactly.
steak here? The Kaseya?
I have no idea.
Don't know.
Don't know.
Yeah.
Hey, all right. And one last thing. Why is everybody in uproar about the NBA All-Star Game? Like, does it
just
come
sucked.
as a shock to anybody that there's no defense in an NBA All-Star game?
But it
This
used to-
isn't new, is it?
Yeah.
It's gotten increasingly worse. That's the
I
problem.
think that Washington
cares?
Generals played better defense
Who
against the
cares?
I
Globetrotters.
missed it.
all
I
those
used to
years,
like that.
yeah.
It was fun in the last
It's
quarter.
lame,
Just
though.
bet
It's a
the
little
over.
lame. Yeah,
It's
yeah.
the easiest money
bet
in the
the order
world.
over.
You wouldn't think so. I mean, they keep putting the number up there in the stratosphere, but they eclipsed it by like 50 points.
I didn't get like all these this hand wringing and pro clutching of all these NBA professional. Like, first of all, that's what they do. They have to
Yeah, it's
stir
gotta
up
bitch.
content some
Yeah.
way.
Yep.
But I'm not offended. Like, I don't care if they're chucking it from 50 feet because, as Sarni pointed out, and this is a good thing that Sarni does, the ratings for the NBA All-Star Game was up 15%.
Oh, really?
So somebody
Oh, then
likes
that's
it.
dumb.
Everybody
Yeah.
likes watching Drek.
Yeah, then
that's what
that's
it's all
stupid that
about.
people
Yeah.
watch because I didn't watch
Nobody
it.
wants to see the bad boy Pistons out there.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, again, it's an All-Star game. You want to see scoring.
But you know,
Nobody wants to
it
get
is a
hurt.
game. I mean, obviously, you don't want to get anybody hurt. That would be the number one consideration. But that being said, I mean, they play ball. You would think a little more defensive pressure.
I don't want any defensive
would
pressure.
not hurt anybody.
See, at the end of the
in terms
game,
of
they-
watching a game. Yeah,
They used to play at the end of the game. They would take it
it
serious.
is a big
and that's
part
what
of the
was
game.
fun.
Yeah, exactly.
Who
And they don't anymore.
cares? It's an NBA
They
All-Star game.
fired this Milwaukee coach with a 31-13 record because they didn't think his teams played championship caliber defense.
Right. That's during
So they
real
brought in
games
Doc
in the regular
Rivers, who's
season.
3-7 since.
Right.
Exactly.
And they're giving up 180 points a game.
They're the worst.
In fact, I think, wasn't he the coach of the East?
He was.
No one. Well, they only gave up 186, so that wasn't.
they
too bad.
outscored the
Yeah.
other guy. That's what counts.
Well, and that's the theory. Right?
I was mystified by the
Everybody's
reaction.
Paul Westhead.
It's like, okay,
but
so
I don't watch the
you,
game.
you call
for,
it Drek.
yeah,
If
yeah.
everybody's so offended, don't watch the game.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing. It's my opinion about
The only interest is in how much did they eclipse the over by,
right. But to me,
and at
it's,
what point.
well, it was
At
probably
what
by like 7 minutes
First
left.
quarter, you could
The
see the way it
second
was
quarter.
trending. I mean, you were very happy if you bet
But
the over.
it's like if people are so offended by it, don't watch it. It's kind of the same thing with me and the McRib sandwich. It's like every year McDonald's puts out a McRib sandwich, and some people just love it and they'll buy it.
No, you really
And
go and buy it.
I just don't buy it. I don't pay attention
You-
to it.
you almost
I
puked
wanna
that
know
day.
Did
You
you
from
tried
get
one.
sick that
I
day?
know it was horrible.
It's one of the origins
So,
of the shows.
I don't eat it. So if you don't like the NBA All-Star game, don't watch it. And don't let it bother you.
It's nothing to cry about. I mean, it's just,
I heard a lot of
Yeah.
crying. Didn't you see it? Like,
Well,
the Twitterverse blew up.
The moderators are all. I mean, a lot of fans are bitching about it. It's just that it's become laughable. Like I get it when they were doing like Defo jokes, the token defense,
this
but
wasn't
now
even
they're not
token.
even
Yeah,
doing
yeah,
that. They're
yeah.
just standing around
Put a hand in
talking,
your face,
and
at
guys are
least.
like dunking, and it's like, okay, that's not even a game. Like, and that's the thing is, it's devolved.
You never did that?
Year
you never
over
called
year.
token pressure when you were playing one of your
When
friends?
I would
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
chop their knees out because I was so short and chubby.
And Mayo was probably
it's,
sort of
it's
a
when you're
jerk
3
off.
feet away and you put a hand up like this, but it's
Oh.
not going to do anything. I mean, the guy doesn't even have to jump to get a shot off.
Right.
Token pressure, at least that would be something.
And they
But,
weren't even trying to fake it.
No,
so.
they basically, like the guy missed, they put the ball back in the basket for him.
Yeah, they did it for him.
I just wanted to get it off my chest because it really didn't bother me. Anyway, I didn't even get into the bang bang that I had the other night going from Kuro to Marumi after not having enough food.
But this is the kind of place,
fine
yeah,
to
even Defo would have do a bang bang. Like when you go somewhere that's frou and you pay a lot to not eat anything.
So frou that we walked out. We had maybe 4 ounces of food, and we were both like,
Oh,
we're still
wow.
hungry. But we'll get into that another time. Let's get out of here.
All
Oh,
right.
a couple of
Beautiful time.
announcements. again, visit Lauderdale Food and Wine Festival March 27th. They're going to be having a celebration of International Whiskey Day at the House on the River, downtown Fort Lauderdale, right on the New River, with some great pit masters. Going to be barbecue and bourbon. March 27th. Go online to vlfoodwine.com for your tickets to that event. And I'm sure in the next couple of weeks, we'll be talking to some of the participating chefs. And then, of course, don't forget Tropical Acres if you want the classic, old school, iconic steakhouse, Florida steakhouse experience. Go to Tropical Acres, 2500 Griffin Road. They are open every day but Sunday. They have happy hour in the bar, 4:30 to 6:30, half price drinks on everything in the house, along with great light bites. And of course, they have their half price wine nights Monday and Tuesday, along with their loyalty reward card. Every 12 entrees that you purchase, you get the 13th one on the house. We love Tropical Acres. We're actually going to be doing a show there.
Yeah, what, next week, right?
Next Tuesday.
Nice.
We're going to make it there, Defo.
Oh, absolutely.
We've got it made with the shades.
Yeah, we're not going to
We're
miss.
going to see Jack
I would never miss an opportunity.
Studio Alley.
to
I
go there.
mean, that,
I
that
love
family's
that place.
amazing.
We appreciate the Studio Alley family and everything they've done for the community, and also longtime
Us.
sponsors of the Lunchbox.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, that's going to do it for today. We thank Brandon.
Wow.
Kevin
Brandon's
great
done a
Danilo,
fantastic
mind blowing.
job.
Kevin D was not around today.
Yeah, we missed Kevin. Kevin's always great.
He's a man about town.
He's a busy
But
dude.
this is a finely tuned, well-oiled machine,
He
well-buttered
said,
machine.
I got some things
Nashville
to attend to.
hot butter is going to be. You can just like drown me in that stuff
No,
because
that's
that
right.
was good.
I'm waiting for you to finish those
not the
cheese
biggest-
fries, whatever.
I said I wasn't a Muscle
Yeah.
fan, but if you
No,
throw
those are
that
great.
Nashville hot butter on anything, that's pretty good. The chicken and waffles outstanding as
Off the
usual.
chart.
The coffee rub steak, the grouper was fantastic.
It was really
with
nice.
succotash.
The succotash was really
come
good.
on
You
in
didn't
here.
mention the brisket.
A lot of
sandwich.
action tonight. They've got all kinds of networking groups along with the live music. Tomorrow, again, go on to eventbrite.com and do a search for Batch Fort Lauderdale, the Angels Envy Education Bourbon tasting class tomorrow here at Batch. And again, anything in the name of education.
Yes.
I'm always for
I'm all for
furthering
that education.
my advanced studies in booze.
And
Remember,
whiskey,
you don't have to
yeah,
eat everything. I think you
I
should
did.
close the show with
You
that.
did
I'm
yeah.
sure you're going to
eat
mock
everything.
me in a second for all the food I
No
left
doubt
on
about
my
it, yeah,
plate.
you
but
wasted
I
a lot
did
of food there.
Great job. Thanks to everybody here again. Cole, our fabulous server, Brandon, the whole staff here at Batch New Kitchen,
New
Southern Kitchen and Tap,
in Fort
525 North Federal Highway, Fort Lauderdale. Until tomorrow, it's Mike Mayo signing off for Jeff Defo DeForest, Mike Lubie Lubitz. Enjoy every fried chicken, waffles, and brisket sandwich.